What have we got here? This is not acceptable. This I took from a Coventry Astral clock, which belonged to an old man of 92 who'd had it professionally restored, and he was very suspicious. He couldn't wind it up. You can imagine it's too strong. The strength is one strength too high, and it was also too wide. And it was also bent. It's been taken out in and out by hand a couple of times. So as soon as you start winding it, it pushes either side of the barrel. And even I had trouble winding it fully up. And even when you wind it fully up, the clock only ran for 4 days. So I don't use anything flash. In fact, it's very crude. It's something I bought at the branch auction a few years ago, and it's homemade. What you really need is to make sure all the joints are okay, and it's got a good ratchet that will stop it going backwards and forwards. Stick it in the vise. Make sure it's tight. Okay, what have we got here? We'll tackle the fusee first. Screwdrivers. Take the cap off. I have actually practiced on this one because it was covered in black grease. It was actually revolting. I like these parallel pliers. They grip really well and they don't mark. These are clear face. Just pull that out and take your glasses off. Now straight away you can see there might be a problem with this because the tip, can you see that here, is almost hitting the cap. And you look at the cap and sure enough there's marks down it where the mainspring's been dragging against it. Pliers. I first started out taking mainsprings out with these, but they would slip because they were too long. They didn't grip. So I went to the other extreme and used these, which are very short and you get a lot of leverage on them. And these will actually hold the strongest mainspring. Right, so it's conventional route. See, that's a good ratchet with a lot of leverage here, and it won't slip. I've got I've tooled in there the right size, matches the arbor, right diameter. Stick that in. Hook it up. There's the barrel facing it, wind it up, so you've got full control. Get that, and just grab the spring and wedge it against. I've got it wedged against the spring winder. It's got a nice post to do that to. You see, I've got full control of it, so you can take that off. Right. I like to stand slightly out of the line of sight, like that. I wasn't then, but then you've got a rag handy. You can check the spring to make sure there's no tears or breaks in it, which will rip your hand off. Or if it's covered in oil, you can't see it, then you use a rag, yeah? And you just stick a rag around it, drop it, and let it go. Yeah? It comes off. Very easy. You can do this one because it's a weedy old screw. Yeah. You could also let that down in your hand. Well, it doesn't hurt. Honest. As long as there's no edges there, you know. Like, I used to, before I went to Ron's, I used to use all sorts of little bits and pieces to tile the spring, because I was a bit frightened of it. I'd cut things like that, put them on there and stick them over the barrel, but it took too long, and really once you get used to it there is no fear involved in the easy spring. You see? You can wind it up and hold it, you can let it go. As long as you keep it wedged against itself, yeah, you get a lot of control with your hands, and you can stick it back in, you can hold it like that, with the tang slightly up. Find the barrel hook, stick it up like that, compress it back in and let it go. And it hooks straight up, yeah? No problem. And you make sure that the spring is right across, which it's not on this one. It's actually on the line of where the cap should go, here. Don't know if you can see that. No,
there you go.
Right. Which means you've got to modify the spring. Clamp it up, take it off, and let it down. Yeah. Now this is a bit bent, this spring. It's quite old, as you can see. It's just a bit more than 2 diameters, which on a fusee is acceptable, just about. It's a bit twisted. You can straighten these. Don't know if anyone does straighten their springs, do they? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you can, what you've got to do is bend it in the other direction, which I'll just attempt with this. So you bent it in the other direction. Yeah, put it back on the main spring winder. That's what happens when it doesn't hook up properly. That's got a hook. Wind it fully up. Now you can, if you've got a decent ratchet, you can lift it down by hand as well. So just reverse the ratchet. Take it off. You see that spring is now a lot straighter. Yeah? If you wanted to fit a new one, I've got Ron to bring me a new one for this. Don't like that hook on there. Some people cut these off. That's the easiest way. I suppose it's better to do it the easy way. You just hold the spring like that. Cut that. Let it go. Yeah. Yeah. Give it a wipe. Now you should really check whether the hook is central on this. And on that as well. So you measure it. Yeah, it's quite good on this. No, it's not actually. It's not very good. But that is also the wrong shape. Don't like that shape. I like to have a flat along the bottom. Yeah. So I'd modify that and file it out to have a flat and then even up the shape of it, so that when you hooked it up inside you'd have some sort of movement. And also I will attempt to put it in like that, shall I? Yeah. What you also need is some sort of shape to the end that will match the barrel. When you put that in, if that is too straight, it will miss the hook. So what you've got to do is bend it across the tan. Right, so now you've got a bend there, so it will take up the hook without any problem. Get it in that way. Now these ones are a bit more of a strength test because they're also a bit oily. And the grip is limited by slip. Hold. Grab the barrel. Push it in. Yeah. Now because it hasn't got a flat on it, because the hole in the end of that mainspring hasn't got a flat on it, it is sitting in the wrong place, and you can't actually put the cap on because there's a mismatch between the barrel hook and the central position of the hole in the mainspring. So you'd have to take that out and file that hole, otherwise you'd have no end shake and the pot would stick. The mainspring would stick and the pot would stop. So it doesn't look too bad there. I'm going to leave it like that. Take it off. It might clear the cap. It's a bit close. And we'll try the arbor in. Now that's got to have a curve to match the barrel arbor as well, because there's nothing more frustrating than putting a mainspring on, putting a quarter chimer together and one of the things unhooks because it hasn't got a proper slope. So I test it, yeah? Give it a good wrench. That's where these pliers are really useful. And you can also see, when you do that, if the inside coils are going to pop out this way because there's also a mismatch between the line-up of the arbor hook and the hole at the bottom, which sometimes happens, and you have to bend it to get it in the right place. But that one is not popping out. So oil. You want to oil that? Mainspring, it's not mainspring oil, it's just motor oil, plain motor oil. Screwdriver. And all you need to do is cover the outer coils with oil. Oh dear. That's lacquer. That's a good mistake. Sorry, can't demonstrate the oil. But all you need to do is dip a screwdriver in and cover the outside of the coils with oil, and that will spread right in and lubricate the mainspring.
What sort of lacquer do you use?
Spirit lacquer, of course.
Is that to keep it shiny?
Cap on. That won't push, so it needs a bit of encouragement. Wooden mallet. Now you've got to test that the mainspring winds up and you still have end shake when it's wound up. So put some soft jaws on. Do the arbor up. Nice and tight. Now you can hear the end shake there. And if you, sorry. If you lose that when the clock is when the clock winds up, then the mainspring is rubbing either end, and the clock will be unreliable and will stop. So you've got to test it. So wind it, feel the end shake. Yeah. Feel the end shake. Still got end shake. Still got end shake. Still got end shake. So losing the grip here. Still got end shake. Come on. Nope. Hands are all sweaty.
Really cute.
Huh? That's better. That's fully up. And it's still got end shake. Yeah? Okay, and you can also see how many turns you've got now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still got end shake. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's loads. So you're probably going to use 6 of them anyway in a fusee. But it's very important on any other type of clock that it has end shake right the way to the full wind.